So back when we did the Obi-Wan video, I talked about what was probably my favorite Star Wars game level growing up. Just because it's my favorite doesn't mean it's the best or I even think it's the best. It's just the one I enjoyed the most, the one that stuck in my mind, and that was the Tusken Raider level. This game, however, has what I would consider to be the best side quest in any Star Wars game. Not that there's exactly a lot of competition, it's really just this and KOTOR 2. I also probably shouldn't say best. I feel like if you're going to say something's the best, you have to give like an analytical reason as to why you think it is the best. If you say something's your favorite, well, that's just personal preference. All you got to do is prove that, hey, I like this, and this is why I like this. You ain't got to give a reason like a defense of why this is the greatest thing of all time. I just really like this side quest, and I'm willing to bet that anyone else who's played this game, even if it's not your 100% favorite, you remember it. It's just a very memorable, very unique quest. And for it, I need to figure out who I'm taking with me, because I don't know if this is the best lineup. Still can't take my beloved with me. Don't worry, Bastila. I will wrap up my Jedi training so that we can be together again soon. Honestly, I'm sure it doesn't bother her in the slightest. You know, man, it's hard. It's hard picking who you want to take with you, because I'm gonna let you know, this is basically like a murder mystery. Okay, you're gonna do some detective work, and I gotta figure out who's gonna be the best for detective work. Probably not Canderous. I feel like he's more like shoot first, ask questions never type. Now, Karth just straight up looks like a noir detective, and he's probably gonna complain. We've been with Karth a lot. As much as I want to take him, I'm gonna say no. All right, that leaves the three companions here on the bottom. Only one of which I use in the later game, and the other two kind of just stop using after we get the Tatooine. That being said, probably a droid would be good to take with me, and you know what? Out of pity, mission you can come to. Then again, Zalbar. Zalbar might be I don't know. I'm feeling Zalbar. We're gonna go with Zalbar. Sorry, mission. Tough luck. That Twi'lek thought she had a chance. I love the way this trash can moves. As much as again, like, once we get to the other droid companion, I kind of stopped using this one. Not because I dislike him, it's just the other one kind of does all the same things, but better. But, I don't know, man, you just can't, you gotta love the way that he just scoots around everywhere. It's so adorable. He's like the next evolution of a Roomba. Oh, hey, John, this is the guy... This is the guy that Canderous mouthed off to, right? Hold on a second before I talk with you. I can't have him miss this. He's got to weigh in somehow.
Have you found the Mandalorian Raiders yet?
I mean, I found the Las Vegas Raiders, but... Nah, I'm just kidding. I took them out. They died like dogs. That's a lie, actually. Me and my party died like dogs. Quite a bit, to be perfectly honest, before we finally took them out. But they're gone now. They're gone. We dealt with the problem. No more Mandalorian issues.
Thank you, young master. My daughter can now, I think, rest in peace. Here is the reward I promised you.
Ooh boy, full-on altruism, begging this grieving father for more money, or just taking what I'm given. I don't know, and... Why did Low Taper Fade just... I love the NPC pathing in this game, let me tell you. You know what, I'm kind of disappointed Canderous hadn't said anything so far. I also kind of need some light side points because I'm realizing I didn't get any from Johanny somehow. So I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna hope that I get some good boy, give me some brownie points.
Please take it. This pitiful amount will never be enough for what you have done for me.
There we go. I got some light side points and some money. 1,000 credits. That's a pitiful amount for you. Maybe I should have asked for more. Now the trick is I gotta remember where this place actually is. Oh, come on, man. I just wanted to get there without a fight. I kind of wanted, like, this to be a cool video and I wasn't going to have any sort of combat to deal with, and, what the hell am I saying? I'm just going to skip over this fight. I'll see you in a minute. Oh, let me tell you guys, that battle was epic, man. It was awesome. Oh, man, if only you could have seen it. And here we go, just off to the left. This right here is the location of what is, in my opinion, my favorite side quest in this game. Maybe, I think there is an argument to say this is the best side quest as well. I know I made that whole best speech earlier, but I think this could be in the running. But, it's just really good. I guarantee you if you've played this game, you know exactly what it is. And if you haven't, actually just go play the game. I don't really want to spoil it for you, but you're probably going to watch anyways. Bolook. Bolook. I forgot about Star Wars names, man.
Achuta. 뭔가 군비스돌비 기구야나.
Oh, we're not speaking English? Okay, I gotcha, I gotcha. Uchuta, mititaka wadatio, isibidede pica latine. Okay, but in all seriousness, well, actually, we know exactly who you are. I want to know, what do you want from us?
론더 디호동가 군헝가비. 오늘 군베스 칭 발라몰레 통킹바 누노닥. 독닝 셔투군네 물레라베스. 다 공주 스탁 미키 그라블 모고. 같이 주 이타 보동가. 돌보방크 원래 오간다 나르고 추추트. 모게샤 본가 몰라와나 찍네. 주제도 봐도 와나 니디보보. 동나 붕샤니 누냐. 동바두카시막 달래야.
Let me get this straight. You were sent to find out what happened with a murder, then you see a student walk up and you're like, oh, yeah, no, this guy who hasn't completed his formal education, that's who I'm gonna get to help me solve this thing. And let me tell you, I have never been so on board with anything in my life. What is it you want me to do?
론더 디호동가 군헝가비. 오늘 군베스 칭 발라몰레 통킹바 누노닥. 독닝 셔투군네 물레라베스. 카치군 이다호동가. 이킹군 오빠 물레라치군. 스리모포도나 르디호동가 구훈가베.
Man, these are some cinematic camera angles. Props to the director of this.
통하이드웜 지지 좀 룸파 니타 포에 티키토 돌파다 봉과레어 간도난 추추트 같이 주 이타 돈동가 유말리타 꾸토 돈 론더 디호동가 군헝가비 오늘 군베스 칭 발라몰레 통킹바 누노닥 같이 군 이타호동가 이킹군 오빠 물레라치군 스리모포도나 룬디호동가 구훈가베 룬더 디호동가 군헝가비 오늘 군베스 칭 발라몰레 통킹바 누노닥 독닝 셔투군네 물레라베스 같이 군 이다호동가 이킹군 오빠 물레라치군 스리모포도나 룬디호동가 구훈가베 룬더 디호동가 군헝가비 오늘 군베스 칭 발라몰레 통킹바 누노닥 독닝 셔투군네 물레라베스 같이 군 이다호동가 이킹군 오빠 물레라치군 스리모포도나 룬디호동가 구훈가베.
Dead body shot in the back, 2 suspects, one of them armed, one of them not, both accusing each other. That's the long and short of it in case you don't speak Huttese. Anything else I need to know about before I start questioning people? Like, I mean, I guess that's a question, so I guess I already have started questioning people. You know what I mean.
디호동가 군헝가비 오늘 군베스 칭 발라몰레 통킹바 누노닥 독닝 셔투군네 물레라베스 무주샥 바칸 키에노노 나마바올레 라치군.
Don't you worry, Bolook, I'm on the case. I will solve this and any other murder I come across. Although I have no idea what happened to those Cath hounds over there. It was probably just a freak accident or something. Who can say? So you guys want to know why I was so excited to come back to this side mission? Not just because I like it, but the funny thing is, my job now is actually to be a detective. Not like an actual detective. I'm not that cool. But like where I live, there is this murder mystery dinner theater, and I work there as one of their actors, and I play the detective character. It's a lot of fun. I love my job, I'm not gonna lie to you. And so now, coming back to do this side mission, which I always loved, where I get to play detective, I don't know, it's just kind of cool for me. I've been looking forward to this. The whole playthrough, I've been looking forward to this, but especially after I got that job. Okay, let's start with the witnesses. Okay, we got Rickard over here, and we've got Handon. One of them was favoring their leg, one of them was favoring their side. I already forgot because I wasn't paying attention. I'm an ace detective, y'all. Let's start with Handon, he's closer.
Ah, greetings. You must be assisting Master Bolook in his investigation. I'm Handon Gould. Perhaps you've heard of me?
Yeah, I heard you were involved in a murder or something like that. That sound familiar to you?
I guess under the circumstances, no. Well, I presume you wish to hear my story then. I shall tell you, of course, but there's not much to it. I'm sure that you'll agree that Rickard is quite obviously guilty of murder. You see, I was out here running earlier today. Yes, running. I do that a lot. Can't stand speeders, never use them. Keeps me in shape, too, you know. Anyway, I was out running on the other side of that bridge there, and all of a sudden I heard a shot coming from over here. I ran over and found this man Calder lying on the ground, dead.
You were running. You were running, and you know what? Let's hold on to that. Did you happen to see the killer?
I saw Rickard come skulking out of the shadows of the rocks south of the river, and I knew something was wrong. I hit my emergency button and called the Enclave right away. Well, there. That's my story. Now, please hurry this up and arrest Rickard so I can get on with my day.
Dude, I understand, like, wanting to say to yourself is innocent. That is barely, like, cause to think that he's the murderer over you in this situation. You saw him come out from some rocks after hearing a gunshot. Don't get me wrong, plausible. How do I know you're not telling the lie either? In fact, let's see what Rickard has to say.
Another Jedi, huh? Helping that Twi'lek investigate, no doubt. He seems stumped. I'm Rickard Lusoff. Maybe you can figure this out and let me get out of here. Well, I was out hunting Iriaz when I spotted one over here by the bridge. I pull out my rifle and aim at it. I couldn't see it that well, mind you, because the damn sun was in my eyes. So I shoot it and it drops. I walk over here and find Handon standing over Calder's body. So why don't you get this whole farce over with and send that whiner Handon to the prison he belongs in?
Yeah, very, very interesting that you say that. I'm gonna make a note of that. Who else caught what he just said? Just kidding, you can't tell me. This is a pre-recorded video. Alright, so we talked to our two suspects. We talked to Handon, and we talked to Rickard. Now, the other person we could talk to is this droid, the information droid. I can't entirely remember what they do. I think you can ask them a few questions, too. This is pretty much the only reliable narrator we have in this story. Okay, so let's see what the droid has to say.
Greetings, apprentice. You must be the one Master Bolook has enlisted to help you with this problem. I am an information retrieval droid. I can assist you by accessing the records of both the Jedi Enclave and the central government facilities here on Dantooine. If you have any need of my services, please do not hesitate to talk to me.
You know, it's funny how everything you do now can be completed by a smartphone nowadays.
I have already retrieved some information from the archives on Calder Netic, Rickard Lusoff, and Handon Gould. I have also had time to examine the body of Mr. Netic. Is there any information you require?
You know what? You just brought up a good point. I haven't looked at the body yet. I kind of forgot you can examine the body too. Hey, let's go back and check that out before we talk to the droid, huh? But hold on, this is the body that's been dead for only a couple of hours, with the completely exposed vertebrae and a head that looks like it was dipped in molten lava. Bodies don't look like this after just a few hours, unless it was the cartel that got him, okay? The body of Calder Netic. He was apparently shot from behind with a blaster. Yeah, he must have hit with a freaking, like, disintegrator beam or something. Okay, maybe I didn't really have to look at the body. I didn't glean a whole lot from that, other than the fact that he's beyond saving at this point. What did you find out about the body, however?
My preliminary analysis of the body indicates that he was killed approximately 3 hours ago by a single energy blast to the torso. Is there any other information you need?
Yeah, exactly what caliber of bullet was that? Was it somewhere between, like, Death Star laser and 9mm? You know, I don't really have a whole lot of other options to ask you about, so, you know, the planes. What can you tell me about the planes here on Dantooine?
These plains are rife with wild animals, not all of them benign. The Iriaz are mostly docile, but can easily be provoked to violence. Calf hounds, on the other hand, are much more deadly.
Yeah, you're telling me.
There have been over 35 catalogued attacks on settlers by calf hounds in the last 2 weeks. A general advisory was given out 3 days ago to carry a weapon at all times when on the plains. Small farms and holdings dot the plains and can provide safe refuge for those in need.
Okay, we got our baseline of events right now. We know what's going on. Let's go back and talk to these people, ask them a few more questions, starting with you, Handon. Now, could you remind us all exactly what it is you were doing out here?
I was taking my daily constitutional. I just happened to be running by when I heard a shot. I ran over and found Calder's body lying there.
Well, Constitution is a very important stat to level into, so, Do you often run around the plains here, especially with all these wild animal attacks that have been going on apparently?
Yes, quite often. I generally prefer running to anything else. Can't stand speeders. A healthy body will breed a healthy mind, as I always say.
Yeah. Honestly, I completely forgot you said the thing about... Yeah, by the way, this is like a few days after I recorded the first half of this video. Something came up. And speaking of something coming up, I do remember that he said that you were clutching your sides. Now, I'm guessing your character model isn't programmed to do that, despite the fact the animation is absolutely in the game. But let's just pretend like you're holding your side. So why are you holding your side? Are you injured?
Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been? Fit as a bathtub. I run. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah, you did mention you run. You also run your mouth a lot. Okay, so clearly he's not forthcoming about his injury right now. But I'm also interested in Mr. shooting a blaster and the sun got in my eyes, despite the fact that it was cloudy out. Let's start off again. What were you doing out here?
I told you already, didn't I? Was hunting some Irias. Haven't seen many in the area recently, what with those cat hounds acting up. But they're still around. Was in my blind a little south of here when I spotted one, like I said before. I shot and pow, it went down. But when I come over here, there's Handon standing over the body and the Irias was gone. Now, I don't have nothing to do with this, so can I go now?
Yeah, what you described is like 100% a hunting accident. Maybe that's the story you should stick with, because I don't see any evidence of an Irias being shot out here. But I want to ask you something else real quick. Now, my boy over here was clutching his side, but I also heard that you were limping, so I was wondering, are you hurt in any way, shape, or form?
Well, I kind of sprained my ankle running through the bush before I found the body, but it's nothing that serious.
Yeah, I gotcha. Hey, at least you're only twisting your ankle and not twisting your words, am I right? Okay, I guess I don't have the dialogue option yet to confront him about it being cloudy out, so let's talk to old Noodlehead over here, see what Bolook has anything to say to me. Every time I see Bolook, for some reason, I'm hearing Baloo, like the bear from Jungle Book, and I don't know why. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just giving me the bare necessities that I need to know about in order to solve this case. See what I did there with the whole Bolook thing. Okay, let's get back on topic.
Mule slimo podadara nanga kumbist mule rabes. Jedu baduana ni dibobo. Tong na bungsha nununya. Tong haitwam jiji jum lumpa. Nita poe tikito. Dolpa da bonkwaleo gondona chuchut. Kachi chu ita dundonga. Yumalita kuto tun. Muchashat pakant.
Oh, really? You think one of them is lying? Okay, yeah, no. Well, we got Mr. I'm fit as a fiddle. Nothing happened to me. I'm not clutching my side or nothing. And then we got the guy over here, Rickard, I think. Rickard mentioned seeing a glare through the scope when he was shooting his rifle. I'm like 90% sure, however, that you said that it was cloudy out that morning. And there we have it. It was cloudy. There was no sun glare. Or I can say he was being rude to me.
Nita poe tikito. Dolpa da bonkwaleo gondona chuchut. Kachi chu ita dundonga. Yumalita kuto tun. Chilamulane ni dubobo. Ogo. Kachi chu ita bodunga. Dolpa bank waleo ganda naru chuchut. Mogesha ponka bola wana chikne. Mule slimo podadara nanga kumbist mule rabes. Kachikun ida hodonga. Yekin kuno pa mule rachikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga kun.
I guess let's start off with Handon. I mean, we've clearly got a go here and then go here thing going on. So, Handon, you're up first. So, wondering if you happen to know the victim whatsoever. You know, I know he's like beyond recognizable at this point, but I'm sure you might have recognized his name.
I knew him a little bit, but I was not any sort of great friend to him or anything. I never really associated with him that much. In truth, I didn't really want to. He had a reputation. Very inconsiderate of family, I heard. But merely having heard unkind things about someone wouldn't make me want to kill him.
I mean, no one said you wanted to kill him. Yet.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit agitated. Why must we remain here? Can't you see that Rickard must have shot him?
Hey, whatever you say, Usain Bolt. If you don't mind, though, I got a little more investigating. I got one more question to ask you. You mentioned something about this guy being inconsiderate of family, I think was the term you used. So I was wondering if you know, why would someone want to kill him? Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, you see, Calder was involved in some pretty sordid business from time to time. More often than not, I've heard. Disreputable business practices, even more disreputable clients. I've even heard he had dealings with a hut here on Dantooine. Now, I bet you're wondering if I had any reasons to kill the man, but I tell you, I hardly knew him. I saw him once or twice, yes, and I've heard some pretty unkind things about him, but certainly nothing that would make me want to kill him.
Okay, I gotcha. And you don't want to say anything else about why you're holding your side right now. I'll ask you one more time. Are you injured?
Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been?
Okay, yeah, I'm just going to cut you off. We know we're lying. I just don't have anything to confront you with right now. But I'll be back, though. I'll be back. Well, maybe Rickard here knows something about our friend's unsavory business dealings, or his disregard of family. You know, now that I think about it, like, what does that have to do with disregarding family? All he'd mentioned was the fact that he, like, was a shady businessman, which, sorry, oxymoron. He was a businessman, and that, you know, that has nothing to do with family per se. I'm gonna ask you the same question, Low Taper. Did you happen to know the victim?
Yeah, I knew him. Hell, we've known each other for a good long time. Doesn't mean I really have to have liked the slime ball. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him, especially now that he's dead. We actually got along pretty well most of the time. We just had our differences. We were actually business partners. We were involved in some orbit-to-ground transport operations for Aerotech. Can I leave now? I should probably be the one to give the news to his wife.
Hold on, wait a minute. You're telling me that you were in business with this guy? Forrest Gump over here says he was a really shady businessman. You called him a slimeball despite the fact you were apparently business partners. And now you tell me he has a wife. Interesting. Wonder if that droid happens to know anything new about our victim. Maybe the wife, we could look that up. Or what about Calder and Richter, actually, now that I think about it? Rickard. Sorry, my bad. Rickard, he said that you're business partners. There's gotta be some sort of, like, records on that, right?
According to the municipal authorities near the Garen spaceport, there had been news of violent drunken activity in the cantina attached to the port. Apparently, a Mr. R. Lusov was making accusations at a Mr. C. Netic about cheating him in a business deal. Jedi Tuka was dispatched to the scene and restored order.
I'm sorry, Jedi Tuka? Man, these guys got some of the lamest names in history. Okay, what about Calder and Handon? Can you find anything on the two of them?
The Southwood Speeder rental business has records that over the past several weeks, a speeder had been rented by Mr. Netic and Mr. Gold.
A speeder rented by Mr. Gold. Mr. Gold! Handon Gold! Why on earth do you spell your last name like that, man? I say that like you have any say in the matter, but you know what you do have say in is how you rented a speeder with this guy. Let's follow up on that real quick.
How can I be of further assistance?
Well, apparently you knew this guy better than you were letting on. I mean, you rented out a car with the dude, so what's all that about?
But I realize this must seem like a motive to you, but I assure you it isn't. I dislike Calder, true. I would punch his face in given the opportunity, but I would not kill him.
Oh, I didn't say anything about this sounding like a motive, and you didn't say anything about knowing him well enough to dislike him and want to punch his face in and given the opportunity, so, why bring that up?
My wife was cheating on me with him. I slept in my own bed while I was in the next room, but as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him. It may have been my own fault for driving my wife away. I must try not to take the law into my own hands. I was just out running, trying to clear my head for the divorce proceedings, not stalking him to kill him. Running is not a crime.
Unless we think you're guilty of something. Gosh, what does Zalbar look like so distraught over there? I know it's just a basic animation, but he's like, oh man, I can't believe this guy's going through a divorce. That's so sad. Reminds me of my ex-wife. Well, I would ask you, why would someone want to kill him? Although I would say that, you know, turning into a cuckold in your own house is probably a pretty good motive. So, is it possible that you wanted to kill Calder for having an affair with your wife? I know you just said, like, oh, this wouldn't mean I want to kill him, but, like, I mean, come on, dude. This is investigation 101. Plus, I got to get at least one false accusation at one point.
Knock his block off, maybe, sure, but not kill him. I hope you don't find that incriminating. You know, normally I'm not prone to outbursts like that, but Calder, Mr. Medic, he was not a very nice person. Not a very nice person to me or my family. I had had my suspicions for several weeks, but had no proof until 2 days ago. It seems Calder was seeing my wife, right under my nose, no less. But, as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him.
Okay, that's all for now. This guy has withheld a lot of information from us up to this point. Oh, I didn't know the guy. Oh, well, I did know the guy. I don't know why anyone would want to kill him. He just had a reputation for not following up with family, and then you tell me a whole spin of yarn about his business dealings, which apparently he was a bad businessman too. But you brought up the family aspect specifically without mentioning the fact it was your family directly affected by that. I'm gonna make a note. Gosh, what on earth did she see in you? Outside of like 7 vertebrae, but other than that. You know what, hold on, you also, the droid brought up a report about you thinking that you got cheated out of a business deal with him. Let's talk about that.
Now, I don't love Calder, but we go back a long way. We run a suborbital shipping and transport company out of Garang Spaceport. We've been partners in that business for well over 20 years, and we've been doing just fine the way we are.
Yeah, but you can't deny there was bad blood between you. You called him a slimeball, if I'm not mistaken, less than 5 minutes ago. So both of these guys are lying to me through omission, which, again, doesn't really give me a motive. Actually, that's not true. Both of them have a pretty decent motive. People have been killed for less. It's just a sad truth. Okay, let's see what my dialogue options are with Bolook, because I'm not exactly sure what the next direction is. Yeah, you can unlock the correct dialogue tree for me. I'm realizing I can't really come up with the questions I actually have. I gotta talk to you and then unlock the options to pick those questions, and man, RPG and just dialogue trees are weird, man. Okay, so yeah, those ear textures you have on the side of your head clearly aren't working. Either that or you just were... Actually, you know what? You weren't sticking your nose into the conversation I was having with the victims, letting me do my job. I take it back. I apologize for my outburst. You're a pretty polite fella. Although I do have to say, according to what you said, since you didn't hear the conversations I had, Handon is lying. And I'll be honest, he might not have known the guy. But it sounds like his wife knew him pretty well. Yeah, exactly how much detail you want me to go into, buddy?
Kachichu ita bodunga. Tolbabank, wale oganda naru chuchut. Mogesha ponka bola wana chikne. Bamule slimo podadada nanga kumbist. Mulera. Kachikun ita hodonga. Yekinkuno bamulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku.
Oh, right, hold on. There was the blaster that was found near the body had blood encrusted on it. Which that in and of itself is weird for Star Wars, so let's get to the bottom of this. You know anything about that weapon that was found near the body?
That blaster was stolen from my house last week. I never knew what happened to it. I hardly have enough money to afford a single blaster, let alone another. I can't tell you how important it is to have a weapon on hand with all these ravenous cath hounds around. Even an Irias can take a man down if it gets in the mood. Every settler has a weapon. It's our most prized possession. I would most appreciate it if I could have that back after you determine that Rickard is the killer.
Oh yeah, those ravenous cath hounds, let me tell you. And it sounds like Calder over here had that dog in him. And your wife had Calder in her, so, yeah. And you said that was your gun that was found, and it was stolen 2 weeks ago. Okay, I'm gonna make a note of that. Right. Well, if the weapon was stolen, what does Rickard Lusoff have to say?
That blaster? Never seen it before. Calder himself had a preference for Ichani weaponry. He had this one really nice light blaster rifle that he always used. Always wished I could get myself a rifle like the one he had. That blaster ain't it, though. Calder only had the one rifle, too, so he either must have borrowed that, or it's someone else's.
Wait, hold on a second. Tell me more about this Echani rifle, because I got some Echani battle armor on one of my companions here. I'm wondering if I could pick up this light rifle as a weapon somewhere in the game. Wait. Okay. I'm getting distracted. Back on topic. I see. Calder only had the one rifle. It was someone else's. We know it was Hander's rifle. So why would Caldor be carrying it? Then again, Caldor was clearly going to Handen's house, so he would have had an opportunity to grab that rifle if he needed it. There's blood on that rifle. We gotta figure out where that blood came from. Yo, Domo Arigato, what you got for me? You were able to find those newspaper articles and documents about them all getting into fights with each other. Is there anything of any sort of report on Handen's blaster being stolen?
I am sorry, but I seem to be failing. I have searched and searched, but I cannot seem to come up with anything at all. I thought to find the record of the missing weapon report Mr. Gould filed with the authorities, but there does not seem to be one.
I see. What can you tell me about the weapon that was found at the scene? Wouldn't happen to be an Echani weapon by chance, would it? Echani. Look, a light rifle. What can you tell me about it?
We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample, other than the fact it did not belong to Calder. Is there any other information you need?
Is the sample, well, when you say sample, you mean like the rifle itself or the blood sample? There was a blood sample found on it, right? Either way, we know either if he's talking about the blood sample, which I think he is, but I can't quite say that for sure. He's saying the blood sample didn't belong to Calder, right? Hold on, I gotta listen to this one more time. Okay, yeah, so either the blood didn't belong to Calder or the rifle didn't belong to Calder. Which, we know that the rifle didn't belong to him because it's Handen's rifle. I swear, he said something about the blood on that rifle. Maybe it's still out for analysis. Yeah, maybe that's what he's talking about. Okay, so we've got a little bit more information. But he's lying about his blaster being stolen. Can we confront him about that? Okay, there's not a dialogue option to confront him directly about it, which means we're going back to Bolook. Sorry, wrong droid. You're kind of just here because you're... Wait a minute. Hold on. I just thought of something funny.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
Hey man, so that blaster we found, it's Handen's. He claims that he reported it being stolen. However, our droid friend can't find anything in the records about that. So I'm assuming he's lying about it being stolen, because that droid... I mean, come on, look, we can trust technology up to a point, but I'm pretty sure that he's on top of things. The police droid specifically designed for police work, I kind of think that I can probably trust him in this judgment. Yeah, I tried asking him about the blood sample. Okay, look, you got something for me now?
I have just received back an analysis of a sample of the blood found on the weapon. It had been sent back to the Enclave just before you arrived. The blood on the weapon is definitely not Calder's. Unfortunately, there was a bacterial contaminant in the sample that had been taken back to the laboratory, and it had become degraded. We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample, other than the fact it did not belong to Calder.
Great. So the blood trail has ran cold. You know, I still haven't forgotten the fact that you said you were out here hunting. You took a shot at an Iriaz or whatever it was, and yet the Iriaz is not found. I also cannot remember what an Iriaz actually looks like. I don't think an Iriaz is an enemy we can run into. I know the Cath Hounds are, and then the Kinrath? The Kinrath, I think, were the praying mantis spider creatures in the cave. Unless they're an Iriaz, I'm forgetting. I don't know, man. I'm trying to do an investigating. My head's spinning. Okay, Bolook, let's talk for a minute, because I can't really ask either of my two suspects any new questions at the moment. Well, the blood didn't belong to the victim. Hey man, the blood didn't belong to the victim. We did learn something. Even if we don't know whose blood it is, we know whose blood it isn't. And if that blaster was sitting next to the body and it had the blood on it, who was the one bleeding? The guy who sprained his ankle, or the guy who's been clutching his side and is clearly lying about it? So the blood has got to be Handon's. He's been clutching his side. He says nothing's wrong, but clearly something has happened, so I'm willing to bet it's some sort of injury that's bleeding.
Hey, what are you doing?
Tung patukas magtalea, ta kung just tak miki grabel mogo. Kachichu ita bodunga. Tolbabank, wale o ganda naru chuchut. Mogisha ponka bola wana chikne. Mule slimo podadada nanga kumbist mule rabes.
You know, that's an interesting theory, and I think there's definitely some truth in that, but I don't think it's the whole truth. Because Rickard also has some things that don't quite line up. So I actually think they're both guilty. What motive does he have? He got cheated out of him in business. Look, we've already established that Calder here was not really the most upstanding citizen in the world. Not only does he apparently not respect the sanctity of marriage, but he also was said to be a very poor businessman. Not poor in the sense of, monetarily. In fact, I'd be willing to wager he was quite rich. I would say poor in terms of morals. He was known to be a cheat. He was known to be a scoundrel. He was known to work with the Hutts. A Hutt here on Dantooine. That's what our buddy over here said, anyways. And Rickard also said that there is a whole issue at the bar because he thought he was getting cheated out of his business by Calder. Now, we've already established that that one businessman here isn't exactly the most upstanding citizen in the world. So is it such a stretch to believe that another businessman who got cheated would not also do some dark things and go to some dark places?
Mule slimo podadada nanga kumbist mule rabes. Kachikun ita hodonga. Ikin kuno pa mule rachikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tunking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukune mule rabes. Tong haitwam jiji jum lumpa. Nita poe tikito. Dolpa da bonkwalea gandonan chuchut. Kachi chu ita dundonga. Yumalita kuto dun. Chilamulane ni dubobo. Wonga kumbis jang ba mulera.
Damn you. Damn both of you.
Ta kumjus tak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ita bodunga. Dolbabank. Wale o ganda naru chuchut. Mogisha ponka bola wana chikne. Mule slimo podadada nanga kumbist mule rabes. Kachikun ita hodonga. Ikin kuno pa mule rachikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Tong haitwam jiji jum lumpa. Nita poe tikito. Dolpa da bonkwalea gandonan chuchut. Kachi chu ita dundonga. Yumalita kuto dun. Chilamulane ni dubobo. Wonga kumbis jang ba mulera.
Oh, thanks for that, T3. You know, I think you're right. We've all learned that the only thing more cold and heartless than a droid is a businessman. And yet at the same time, our passions can make us run hot too. And what happens whenever you're at either of these two extremes, or whenever these extremes meet together? Well, you end up just like that body Calder over there. Lukewarm.
Achuta. Unga kun bis dolbi kikuyana. Dong patugas makdelia.
So, you know, the funny thing is, this quest normally just gives you 1,000 XP, but that one-liner, that added my extra 310. You know, standing here now, this river, it just seems so calm, so peaceful, like the rest of this planet. And yet we learned today that this bridge is built over troubled waters. One man who felt like he needed to get revenge. His wife cheating on him with another. And another man who felt like he needed to get revenge for being cheated out of a business deal. And what happens to all the cheats of the world? Well, they all end up dead. Or in prison. Actually, that's not true. There's a lot of really nasty people still out there. But we can pretend like there's still a little bit of hope, because that's what us Jedi are here for. We're here to bring out some hope, dish out some justice. Maybe one day a new hope will arise. Okay, yeah, no, I lost the plot. I was cooking there. I had something real special going, and then I decided to tie it in with a reference to a movie whose events take place 4,000 years from now. Let's just move on. So yeah, guys, that was it. That is my favorite side quest in both of the Knights of the Old Republic games. Maybe my favorite side quest in any RPG, but I don't know. I don't want to say that for certain. I definitely love it in this game. It does have a couple problems. The biggest one being it's not super replayable. Once you've played through it once, and you know the twist once you figure it out, kind of ruins it whenever you come back in the future. It's also slightly contrived. Like, oh, you know, both of them wanted the kind of Murdering the Orient Express type thing. Then again, like, that wasn't all, like, at the time, and I would even wager, yeah, I think nowadays mystery stories have been so played out, we kind of know everything there is in the book. It's hard to make a new and compelling mystery story. But this one was written, 22 years ago. And I'm not saying that it wasn't a slightly played out trope then, I'm just saying it did kind of defy expectations as far as having two killers. And like I said about being hard to be replayable, that's true, but like in my case, guys, there's years between my playthroughs of this game. I'll play it and I won't come back to it for a little while. And so while I kind of remembered the resolution, I didn't remember all the steps to get there and all the finer details, so it still offers something when you come back to it. But what about you guys? What's your favorite side quest in the Knights of the Old Republic series? What's your favorite side quest in any game series? What's your favorite mystery plotline in a video game? There's a lot of video games that have murder mysteries like this, and I actually would kind of like to play through some of them. I know Skyrim, there's that really famous one in Windhelm. I actually have never played through that specific quest line, now that I think about it. Who knows, maybe that's going to be a series, playing like famous murder mystery levels in video games. We'll see how this one even does before thinking about doing that, though. But yeah, that's going to do it for our video today. We'll keep doing more KOTOR at some point in the future, but yeah. Just, if you've got a business major or if you're getting married, just keep an eye out. Yes, I know that was stupid, Salvor. Look, this is why I kind of just cut videos off. I don't really do endings anymore, so, yeah, just end the video.